I get messages all the time asking me how I went from 100,000 in bad debt to a $13 million portfolio. By watching this show every week, I will share exactly how I did it, how I achieved it, and the lessons that I've learned along the way. So do me a favor and please subscribe to our channel. It's simple, it's free, and it helps keep the show going for you. This is where you eat and we talk about changing the way that you think about money, with insights from successful investors, entrepreneurs, and everyday people taking control of their financial futures. So double check that you're subscribed, and thank you for being part of this journey. Hi everybody, and welcome to this episode of the Lunchtime Investor, where we have a very special guest here today, and that is, of course, Taylor Becker. Hi Taylor, how are you?
Hi Marcus, thank you for having me.
Yeah, amazing. Good to see you.
Thanks.
See, you're the first person to have done that. No one else does that. What the hell? So remember what this is all about. This is about you having your lunchtime and you eating while we do the talking. And what we're going to be talking about is how this 18-year-old, although you're 19 now, made over 300,000. Is it dollars or pounds?
Pounds.
Pounds. Okay, even better. Pound profit, not over the whole portfolio, but profit investing in cryptos. We're just going to show you a really short clip, and this is him at one of our members' meeting congratulating him. Let's try that again. Taylor, congratulations. I'm sure everybody will join me in congratulating you for making over 300,000. Tell us a little bit about, where did you start your journey? Like, did you start when you were like 6 or something? Or how did you get to 300,000?
Yeah, so I started when I was 16. So my dad was the first person who started learning about cryptocurrencies. He actually learned from your course. And I started learning it, and I started attending some webinars, just learning what cryptocurrencies are. And then towards the end of 2022, that was when I first started making my CCA purchases. And that's one of our strategies that we have. And what I was doing is I was buying some of the top 10 cryptos, the biggest ones. And I've just been doing that over the last 3-4 years. And
so is there a strategy behind it, or were you just lucky, do you think?
No, there was a strategy. So with the CCA cryptos, we want to invest as price comes down, because as investors, we want to make the most profits. But what we do is we also look at fundamentals. So when the fundamentals of a company are good, for example, when the value of a company is good, but the price comes down, that's when we want to get in. And as it comes down, we get in more and more as it goes lower.
I think most people would probably want, to get in when price goes up, and yeah. So it's very counterintuitive actually to do that. So your father kind of learned. Did he teach you, or did you teach yourself, or how did it work? Or did you just go, what are you doing there, Dad? I want to know as well. How did that work?
Yeah, he didn't really teach me, but that's, he's got a business. He was very busy. It was just me learning, basically.
Yeah, he might be watching the show.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, do you think that anyone could do this at your age?
Of course, I believe anyone can do it. I started when I was 16.
But was it your own account though? Because I don't know whether legally you can set up your own account. Was it your own?
No, legally it was under my dad's name, and
so it's his profit. You can't take any of it.
Yeah, legally it was under my dad's name because he had to be over 18.
I like the way you keep saying was. So, is it still under his name?
Well, I've sold some altcoins along the way. Mm-hmm. So that is in the ones after I turned 18, that was legally in my name. And I've just been following the strategy. Anyone can do it. I've even got a friend who's 18, and he has a trading 212 app. He does investing.
Yeah.
There's not many people like this, because most people, when they see cryptos or stocks going up, they just act on their emotions and they want to get in as the hype goes up. But it's more about long-term investing.
Yeah. Okay. So you believe that. What about investing when you're young? You obviously, because a lot of people here, and I'd really like to hear what people are saying in the chat as well. Let's see. Howdy, Jez. Looking forward to the story. Good afternoon. Amazing. Got any questions for? Yeah. Have you got any questions? Let me use. Yeah. So which strategy did you use? You mentioned the CCA strategy.
Yeah.
So just very quickly, what does that entail?
So the CCA strategy is we first look for a recent high. So the crypto has to go up at least 80%.
Okay.
And then what we do is we don't buy as it goes up and up. We buy as it comes down. So our first entry is at minus 20%, then minus 30, then minus 40. And another thing that's really great is the use of the calculator. So we have a calculator, and that will show us the price points as it comes down, what the price will be at the next entry.
But if you keep doing as it goes down, what if you're catching a falling knife? That can really hurt. What if it goes to zero?
Well, we only...
Have any of yours gone to zero?
No.
But have they gone down 90%, maybe 80%? Because some of mine have.
In a bear market, some cryptos go down that much, 80, 90%.
Yeah.
But as investors, we are not worried about short-term noise, short-term movements, if we believe that the fundamentals are good.
Okay.
So as it comes down, we buy more and more.
Okay.
And we use the calculator because
You seem very confident. It's amazing. I love that. What about mindset? How important is that, do you think?
it's very important. Yeah.
So where did you learn your mindset then?
Yeah, great question. So I did a lot of reading. I read a lot of books, not just about trading and investing, but about success overall. When I was 16, I started reading books like Think and Grow Rich, for example, or The Wealth Workout, or Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker. And
I'm glad you read my book as well. That's brilliant. So you got some greats there. You got one by Napoleon Hill, T. Harv Eker, and then me. Amazing.
Yeah.
By the way, those are amazing books.
Yeah.
Including mine. No, the one that I really like, I have to tell you, is Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker, who's my personal mentor and friend. I think it's absolutely fantastic. It's one that I didn't just read, I studied it. Do you read books or do you study them?
I read them, and I also listened to the audiobook a different time after I've already finished reading it. Yeah.
See, the thing is, though, I've spoken to your father, and I know this is all a result, and you were part of it, don't get me wrong, but this is great parenting.
Yeah.
Because I think that, didn't he ask you, whenever you read something, you actually had to write a summary for him?
Yeah, I had to write a summary. And also, what you might not know, I had to record an audio voice note of what I learned. And the reason why he was doing this is because he was engaging multiple senses, visual, auditory, and not kinesthetic, but visual and auditory. And that is so that you take in information in more parts of the brain, so you remember it more.
Yeah, well, and if you engage those, then you will have the kinesthetic because you will start feeling.
Yeah.
Right? If you just use one modality, you can, but imagine watching a film without sound. It's not the same.
Yeah.
You know? Okay, brilliant. Let's see. Could you please put the books in here for us to order? Yeah, should we put some of those books in there? Yeah, thank you for that. Sibylla, keep the questions coming here. You have a 19-year-old here who's made over 300,000, I think, by the end of this cycle, so over the next 6 months. I think that could probably more than double, but let's be conservative. Are you looking forward to that?
Very much.
Yeah. No, yeah. I know you are, and you're very, very focused. Okay, so, and are you doing the same thing right now, or are you adapting your strategy ever? Because now we're in this rampant bull market. Are things still going down? Can you still get in?
Yeah, it's harder now that things are going up, but we just look for 20% entries, for example, as the first entry point.
Could you change that to -10 because we're in a bull market?
You could do that, but there would be more consistency with great results with 20%, for example. And, crypto is very volatile, especially Bitcoin, because that leads the way. And we just look for entries as it comes down. What I did recently was I looked at a crypto called Hyperliquid. So that was...
What does Hyperliquid do?
So it's a decentralized exchange.
Okay, so it's like Binance, but decentralized.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. And they offer perpetual futures trading, which is basically leverage trading, futures trading.
Is that what you do? You do leverage?
No, not me, but that's what the exchange does. That's what the exchange offers.
Okay, but it can also... that's what it does. And so you bought the actual coin.
Yeah, I bought the underlying token.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the reason why I did that is because I saw that the fundamentals of the company were great. They were in great revenues or fees in crypto, and they had a high amount of users. So I like to look at the demand, as that forms some of the fundamentals of the company, the underlying demand.
But how do you know the demand? What is there a site that you can look that up?
Yeah, there are a few great crypto websites. For example, like DeFi Llama.
DeFi Llama, okay.
Yeah, that's a great one. Crypto Rank shows... it will show you if the crypto company has raised money from from big VCs. Like,
Why is that important?
if you want to tell how legit a crypto company is, you want to.
Okay, that's legitimate because they would have done their research on it. Okay,
Yeah.
it doesn't mean it's necessarily a great project,
Yeah.
but you know that somebody who is legitimate has done their research on that, and
Yeah.
so that it's better than just putting your money into something else. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So anything else that you would look at, especially the usage of it?
Yeah. Yeah. So I also like to use Token Terminal. You can track more in-depth usage over there, like fees and revenue, and active users, active addresses.
Yeah.
I use that quite often.
Okay, so there you go. There's some real golden nuggets there, I have to tell you. Real golden nuggets. I hope you're writing this down. Yeah? Let's see. Now, oh yeah, people are saying congratulations, which, well, one person is, which is great. Yeah, congratulations. I think it's awesome. Let's have a look. Some of the books are being put in there, I'm sure, though I can't see them, but I'm sure my team are doing it. Let's see. Would it be interesting to know if any CCAs that went down, perhaps went stagnant, were sold to redeploy into new CCA? Yeah, so if any of yours have gone down, do you sell them at a loss or do you wait?
Yeah, good question. One part of that would come down to my research and my belief of how, if this crypto company is going to have demand in the future. But generally speaking, if I've invested in a CCA and it hasn't really moved, even over the last 2 or 3 years, for example, like Polkadot was very big in 2021. Now it's very flat.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, and I invested in that, during the bear market, in the lows of.
Okay, great example. So.
Yeah, so I stopped investing in that one. I also sold most of it, and I bought cryptos that I thought would do a bit more. I did a bit of research for that.
So I hope that answers your question. Then yes is the answer. He would redeploy, which is fantastic. Okay, let's see. And also, can we put the research sites on there? Ronan is asking as well. Okay, that's fantastic. You're very confident. I really love that. I think it's absolutely fantastic. Okay, now here's a question for everybody on the chat. At what age did you start investing? Did you start investing as young as Taylor did, which was at 16? Right, he's 19 now. Or B, between 20 and 35 years old, and C, 35 plus, so that's a huge span, or D, not yet. Notice the yet, not yet. Okay, so go ahead, please, everybody in the chat. We are going to do that poll. Are we ready almost? Yeah, we're going to do that poll, so as soon as it comes up, we will get your reaction to that. So again, at what age did you start investing? Is it as young as Taylor, between 20 and 35, 35 plus, or not yet started? So if we can have that poll, that would be amazing. All right, let's see what people are saying here. When did you start? Okay, it should be ready now. Let's see what the results are. Ooh, interesting. Most of you are saying 35 plus, which doesn't surprise me. It's just such a huge span. Doesn't surprise me at all. That's where most people are going to end up, I think. Okay, let's give that a 5-second countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let's end that poll. All right, so the results are in somewhere, not sure where, but the results are in. So we will have a look at that. What I'd love to do while the results are in there is to actually watch this video, and I'm going to make some notes here. You can as well if you like. You've got a pen there. Let's play this video and let's see what they have to say. By the way, this is a video which I think is very unique because you have Bill Gates and Warren Buffett, so two of the wealthiest people in the world, giving some advice to this young person here.
What sort of things do you think made a big impact in your success? What habits did you develop? And kind of what sort of things could you pass on to us as younger people?
People you look up to are going to form your vision of what the world, how you want to be in later life. And I'll give you 2 pieces of advice. I'd invest as much in myself as you can. I mean, you're your own biggest asset by far. I mean, you've got all kinds of potential. All the people in this room, you're lucky to be in this country, gotten a good education. But most people go through life using up a very, very small part of their potential. And so anything you do that invests in yourself, that's the best investment you can possibly make. And then I would follow my passion. I mean, whatever turns you on. I was lucky. I found something early that turned me on. But you don't want to take a job just for the money. You don't want to take a job for an organization that you really don't feel good about, or work for people that you don't feel good about. You really want to be excited when you get out of bed every morning. And it won't necessarily be the job that you have 10 years later, but you'll be learning so much as you go along.
Sound issues there, but I hope that you at least managed to read the subtitles there. So what did you think about what Warren said? Warren Wazza.
I think he's absolutely right. Investing in yourself through education mainly,
Yeah.
for example, or making sure that you've got good health, buying healthy food, for example.
But you're very much into health, I know.
Yeah.
Because Taylor, you don't know this, but has decided to come and join Investment Mastery. Now he's working with us, at least for 6 months, to see whether he enjoys doing it here, right? And so we're really lucky to have him. He's part of the research department now. And every time I reach for anything like a donut or something, he's on me. And it's like, don't do that. And I think we have an agreement now that next time I eat any cake in the office, I have to do 100 press-ups.
Yeah.
There you go. It's all about accountability, peeps. All about accountability.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, so that's the health part. You are your own biggest asset. What do you think about that? Would you agree with that?
I believe that. Yeah.
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 So what are you doing to make sure that you as an asset is growing the most? Because he said most people don't reach your full potential. I'm assuming you want to reach your full potential.
Yeah. Yeah. So keep learning. So that's investing in education. And then part of that also is investing in your skill set through practicing what you've learned from the education.
Okay.
And just keep doing that over time. And for me, I never saw results in crypto as soon as I got started. I kept doing it over time, and consistency is
So
really...
hold on. So at the beginning, it wasn't. But you just kept going. You kept going. You kept going.
Yeah.
But were you losing money at the beginning or making money at the beginning?
It was just quite stagnant. It was neither.
And I think that's most people. You make some, you lose some, you make some, you lose some, you give up, right? But you just carried on, and I'm assuming. You tell me. Did you then learn more, and something changed, or what changed?
What changed? I knew investing was a long-term game. When I allocated money to investing in cryptocurrencies in the CCA strategy, I knew that was going to be an investment for a future time, just to invest now, and then that's going to be for the future. I knew that. Because with investing, we're not looking to make short-term profits. We're really looking to buy companies which are fundamentally great, or buy stocks or cryptos which are fundamentally great. And
then use a strategy on them.
Yeah, exactly.
Not just buy them and hold them.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think that's the difference, right? That's the difference. Okay, what else? You're lucky to be in this room, and I think what he means by that is in this country, and maybe also this time. You have freedom of choice, of thought, of who you want to marry, freedom of setting up a business or where you want to work, and a lot of countries don't have that. Yeah. So they are very lucky, but most people still only use a very small part of that enormous potential, no matter where they are.
Yeah.
So what would you say about investing in yourself? How have you invested in yourself?
Yeah, I've invested in my education. For example, reading books, or I've bought courses that I've attended, or even going to webinars for cryptocurrency learning and learning from the top coaches, Keith and Dennis.
So time and effort.
Yeah.
And obviously your father kind of like paid for the courses and stuff. You didn't pay for them, right?
I paid for some of them, yeah.
Did you? Oh,
yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Do you think there's a difference if you get something for free, as opposed to you say, oh, listen, I'll give you access to this if you want, as opposed to no, if you want it, you're gonna have to pay for it.
Of course, that people will take it much more seriously if it's their own money they've invested.
Did you take it more seriously?
Of course, yeah.
Oh, that's really interesting. I agree with that, absolutely. Let's see what people are saying. Inspirational words, yeah, absolutely. I like your self-control, Taylor. He really does have a lot of self-control. And it's good to surround yourself with people like this as well, because it, like we just said with the donuts, it allows me to step up my game as well. So I don't know whether we can show this. Can we? Can we show this one here? So this is a young investor's advice. This is from Ultra Alanova. Or so, every week we do this, and there's always such a weird name. Do people not use their names? Okay, but anyway, he says, or she, see, I don't know. 19, earn a salary. I don't have any student debt. I didn't go to university. I live with my parents. Blah, blah, blah. But I don't think it's doing anything in the bank. I've heard about all these different apps, like Trading 212, which you mentioned just now, I think. Moneybox, but I haven't had any simplified advice that is similar to my situation. I would like to invest £500 every month. That's amazing. What a great way to start. And I'm not interested in a LISA or some kind of an ISA. Let's see. I've opted out of my pension with my job because I don't see myself working long enough to benefit from a pension. and I'm open to any advice or opinions on what ways I can invest my money now, especially with this new government. All right, well, what would you say to that?
Yeah, so that's great that you want to invest every month. Most people aren't even looking to invest; they just want to save money. But it's important to have different. You allocate your income towards different buckets. For example, some for investing, some for saving as well. Trading 2-on-2 is great, but with investing, what I would do is I'd try and find someone who's credible to make sure they know what they're doing. So, for example, you have 20 years of experience in the stock market with investing. And I definitely gravitate towards that. I want to learn from people who have done it, who have been successful.
Yeah.
I've always been interested in that. And at school.
Why?
Why? Because it shows to me that they know what they're doing, because they've got results, they have proof. And with school, I'm quite entrepreneurial, and I never really had any teachers who kind of were very successful financially.
But does that matter? If they're teaching you history and maths, they don't have to be...
No, you're right. Not history and maths, for example. But if I'm taking business studies or economics, preferably I would like it if they were quite successful financially, so I could learn from them.
Yeah.
And that's okay that they're not successful financially a lot. It's hard to ask for, but as long as you just keep learning and look at the top coaches, for example, those who have the most experience.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I really value.
But also, don't you think that the people who are really successful, why would they bother teaching? Have you ever thought of that? Why would they bother? They're too busy making money.
Yeah, it's a good point. And at that stage, money doesn't matter as much as contribution. One of the 6 human needs by Tony Robbins is contribution. Really showing what you can. For example, Ray Dalio, he actually released a book the other day called How Countries Go Broke. And this is all due to inflation and the amount of money that the US is printing, for example. And he's showing all these debt cycles that go on over time, which I believe is true. And he's not doing that to sell the books to make more money. He's already, the CEO of Bridgewater, one of the biggest hedge funds in the world.
I think it's the biggest. It is the biggest, yeah.
And really, it's all about impact. What can you share with people that will help change their lives in a positive way?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, brilliant. I love that. So look, a brilliant foundation to build wealth. Yeah, we love that. What you've got there. This idea that most people have saving, right? Saving is not the future, and what he wants or she wants to do is he wants to invest, and I think that's the way to go.
Yes.
Because we were always taught, work hard, get a job, but then at the end of it, what do you need to do? You need to save.
Yeah.
There was no such thing as, investing, whereas now, oh my goodness, the tools, I tell you, the tools that you guys have, I did not have those tools. Absolutely incredible. Even things like webinars, yet alone anything else,
Yeah.
What about not taking a pension? I mean, I'm asking you, you're 19, but what do you think about that, not taking a pension? Maybe I'm asking the wrong person, I don't know.
I think a pension is good. However, you should still be investing. You shouldn't be definitely putting all your money into a pension.
So that's what you said before about different pots,
Yes.
making sure this idea of asset allocation.
Yes, yeah.
And even when you are in a crypto, diversifying just in case. How many cryptos are you in, would you say?
Core positions, 5, but
Brilliant.
yeah, but a bit more than that with smaller investments.
Nice.
Yeah.
No, I like that. And again, that's asset allocation. So in other words, what you do is you put less money in to ones that you maybe, you think, these could be good, but I'm not sure. So your main, okay, that's good. But you're not in Bitcoin.
No, not anymore.
Whoa, and that's the most solid one, right?
It is.
So you are actually taking on a little bit more risk. Is that because you're younger or because it's your dad's money?
Well, it's not. It was my money that I invested into Bitcoin at the start.
Okay.
I bought at around 23,000 and I sold at around 50,000.
Nice.
And then I put that into altcoins, for example, Solana, which went up a lot more, and I took some profits there. And the reason why I did that is mainly because I wanted to capture the growth with altcoins. However, Bitcoin is the only crypto which has been around for 15 years. That's the one that's most reliable, and especially over the next decade, when the US government and other governments are going to print trillions of dollars, Bitcoin is going to be the one to succeed.
But you don't own it.
No, I don't own it, but I'm going to own it. I'm going to get in during the bear market. I'm going to get some entries in.
Nice. I like that. I like that. I like that. Okay. So what do you think about, obviously this person is asking about getting educated on investing, diversifying. I mean, that's what you need to do. You need to, my number one thing for this young person, well, your age, is to do what you've done, learn from somebody who has proven strategies. And what I mean by proven strategies, not just how long they've done it, but also that they have money in the bank. That's very important through the strategies, right? And then start applying them if they possibly can. But we're going to do a quick poll now. Do you believe that young people have an advantage investing?
Of course.
You do? Okay, let's see, right? Yes, because they adapt faster, or B, well, they have more time, right? Not more time during the day, but they have more time longer, because it's ROI plus time. It's not just return on investment, peeps. It's return on investment plus time. Those two together, unbeatable, right? Is it C? No, because tell you, experience matters more, or D, it's about mindset, not age. So there's the poll. Everybody, please, let's participate and just choose one. And what do you think?
Yeah, I think because they have more time.
They have more time ahead of them.
ROI plus time.
Yeah, but you've managed 300K, and that was only in 2.5 years, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, and I didn't get to that stage overnight. I really didn't. I've been in the crypto markets for 3 years, and I've never helped make this much amount of money on my parents' account in such a short time. It's only recently. Yeah.
And that's probably a mixture of the bull market and the compounding.
Yeah, strategy, practice, consistent efforts. Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. I like the way, I just said it as that, but then you came back to, well, actually it's to do with consistency and effort, which it is, it absolutely is. So let's close the poll. 3, 2, 1, and boom, let's close this one. Let's see. Do you believe young people have advantage? It's about mindset. Wow, look how even. About mindset, not age 34. Yes, they adapt faster. Yes, they have more time. But experience apparently doesn't necessarily matter. It's interesting, right?
Yeah.
You said more time, but people on the chat said, yes, it's about mindset, not age. I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I would agree with that. But generally speaking, if people evolve with time, they should have a better mindset. They should. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Very good. So let's have a look at this. I don't know whether we can show this very, very quickly, but it's the difference between, beliefs that aren't serving you, limiting you, and success mindset. And on the left here, we've got some people might say, I'm too young to invest. What would you say to somebody who says, I'm too young to invest?
There's no limit. There's no correct way of what age to be to invest. There's no correct way of a business to operate. Businesses are all different. They all have a different product or service. There's no correct universal way of how things should be, especially not for age. Anyone can do it. I did it. I've got a friend who's investing, who's 18. It's 100% about mindset.
No, but hold on. Are they doing well as well, or not so well?
I don't know how much. You
don't talk about that?
Well, yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay.
But I've seen that he's doing it.
Okay. And what's he doing? We need to know whether it works first before you start talking about what he's doing. Find out whether it works, and then we'll talk about it on the show, okay? Because I think that's important. We don't want to talk about it if we don't know that it works, right? So Taylor made 300K as a teenager. And look, I always say, what do we say? Our mantra is, if he can do it, you can do it. That's just the mantra, right? That is what we repeat again and again at Investment Mastery. If he can do it, you can do it. Let's have a look. Sheena says, most of us on the call are probably not young. I don't know. I'm guessing probably not. I know Unita says, wow, no Bitcoin. My mind also explodes right now. But I understand why you're doing it, because maybe in this cycle, the altcoins will be going a lot higher. What about this? Limiting belief number 2, I need more money to start investing. Is that important, to wait until you have the right amount?
No, you need to. So with investments, we don't want to time the market. We don't want to wait. We want to be in as soon as we can, because we believe that it will go up. Mm-hmm. We believe that it's fundamentally a good company. Yeah. And for example, if the price comes down, that's when we want to buy.
Okay. All right. So the success mindset would be, it's a marathon, not a sprint. So start small, invest often, but the point is start now.
Exactly.
Because people keep waiting, and they guess what they say then? They say, I've got the money now, but now's not the right time. It's like, well, just start. Starting is where the power is. Crypto is too risky. There's another one. proper education, what would you say crypto is too risky? Because it is quite risky, right?
Yeah, crypto is definitely very volatile, very volatile. The stock market is less volatile. However, even the S&P 500 went down at least 10% during March when there was recession fears and tariff fears. So that's volatile as well. I think the reason why this claim is that crypto is risky is potentially because some people don't understand it.
But then why don't they just read about it and do their own research?
They should, yeah. And the problem is that they only do that when they hear about it, usually at the top of the bull market, or when they get emotional. They think that I have to put everything in now because it's going up and up and it's going to go up forever.
I actually think that some people think you have to buy a whole Bitcoin. They don't realize that you can put £100 in.
Exactly.
That you can get started, right? Just get started. What about this one here? Limiting belief number 4. It's only for professionals. I mean, who the hell are you, man?
Yeah,
you don't work in the city.
No.
Do you? Maybe you do.
No, I'm not a professional. I started when I was 16. This is only my second year after learning. Well, I started learning at the end of 15, 16. I didn't have any experience before. I was quite entrepreneurial, and I'm not sure.
What does that mean when you say I was quite entrepreneurial?
Well, no, I am quite entrepreneurial.
Okay, but what does that mean? Like, have you started? What does that mean?
That means that I like to take opportunities where I think that there'll be future growth, or if I can make some money, for example, or start a business. Try and look for ways where I can grow not just myself and my mindset, but also have a positive impact towards others and adding value.
Nice. Yeah, well, you're definitely doing that by helping here for sure. So it's not for professionals, it's for everyday people with the right tools. But I'm going to add to that. Well, tools and mindset. But if you want to wrap it up in tools, then that's great. Let's see what people are saying here. Ashina says you can start with cryptos with £10. Special cases, we know that saving is wrong. Well, it's not wrong. It's just that you can't do anything. It's not wrong. I mean, I'd rather you did that than nothing, right? But how do we start the investment journey? Why don't you ask that? Why don't you answer the question? Would somebody like special case start? How could they start?
How could somebody start? First, I'd start learning about it. What is it? Why has this been happening? Why has there been a bull market? Okay, and then what can I do about it? So now we're looking at a strategy. So we want to make sure that we're learning from someone successful, and then we want to find out what they're doing so we can do it as well. Or at least learn first and then make some practices like demo trading.
Okay, but let me ask you a question. How do you find that person? Because there are a lot of scammers out there.
Yeah.
So how do you find somebody who is the real thing? How? Like, the internet's huge. If you go in and say, find me somebody, like 10 million things come up.
Yeah, I think Trustpilot is quite good for working out whether companies are legit or not. Even some other channels like YouTube are quite good, and I think you'll if you use YouTube, you'll eventually be able to filter out.
Do you mean to learn from YouTube videos?
Yes, to learn, but that's only at the first stage. That's not getting into proper strategies that are more in depth, and we want to look at strategies that work. And with YouTube, you can get people who are potentially scammers, but also they will want to sell you hype and emotions as to why you should invest. But really, we just want to invest based on a strategy.
Absolutely, no emotions allowed there at all. I can tell you, at all. Let's see. Let's do a quick poll here. If given proper, this is a good one. If given proper education, would you, with real money, trust your child to invest the way that Taylor's father did? Would you trust your child? A, absolutely. B, possibly with some supervision. And C, not a chance. Not a chance. Okay, let's have that poll up there. I'm not going to ask you because I think the answer is clear, right? Incredible. Don't you think it's amazing though that he let you do that?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I'm very grateful for my father. He's a great person. He supports me in many areas of my life over the last 19 years, and I'm really thankful for him and all the successful people who he's introduced me to, successful mentors like Marcus. I'm really grateful for that because your environment really determines your success. The people who you hang out with and who you learn from, that's who you take in information from and who you study, and that has a massive impact on your life.
No doubt. I'm going to stop eating donuts and stuff. Okay, let's have a look. Given education, would you trust your children? Here we go. We're going to close it. 3, 2, 1. Vote now. And we're closing it. And the results are, let's see what people say. Possibly with supervision. Wow, amazing. You've inspired people. This is amazing. Absolute. Oh, wow. Absolute. You've really inspired people. Now they're just going to throw money at their 16-year-old now and hope they would have made 300,000 by the time they're 19. 11%. Not a chance. Not a chance. Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. Let's see what other comments we have in the chat here. Oh, yeah. I mean, strategy is the answer for risk management, as long as risk management is part of that strategy. Absolutely. It has to be, because risk management is everything. Investment Master. Oh, that's us. Want to know more about altcoin season? Thank you, Sibylla. Take a course with Investment Mastery. Thank you. Catch our latest video coming out tonight where we discuss how you should invest in the coming months. Okay, how can people do that? How can they take advantage of that?
How can they invest in the coming months? Okay.
How can they, this altcoin season video? Are you going to put a link up? Yep. Okay, great. Let's see. Annie Brown says, I believe DCAing in a specific investment, e.g. crypto, instead of keeping that amount in the bank. Yeah, but crypto, but there's 18 million cryptos out there, Taylor.
Yeah.
You know?
We want to look at ones that are well established, and we want to have a strategy. That's the main one. And the reason why we look at ones that are established, that are proven, that have been here for a long time, that have successful businesses, is because that lowers our risk. And we're not investing in a new startup. I was
going to say, forget about that. You're not even in Bitcoin. Let's do this one at the bottom, number, not 18 million, that's too risky. Let's say 16 million down the list. Get in there and it'll go up 1,000,000%. Woo! Moon.
Yeah, that's not often the case. You have to be very selective of which cryptos you invest in. Of course, some of them can go to zero, which is why we use risk management. And doing research is part of that, which is why I use some of those websites for research.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And diversification, which is very, very important indeed. This has been really, really cool for you to be here and to share your wisdom, which is absolutely fantastic, which just goes to show you wisdom doesn't necessarily have anything to do with age, right? Okay, so if you want to start building wealth now, then get our free Lunchtime Investor Crypto Guide. It's 24 pages. You know, you'll be able to read it in a couple of hours, probably less, but it will absolutely get you started, even as the strategy in there that Taylor used. So the link is in the chat below. Let's see what people are saying. Sheen is asking, is this video on YouTube tonight? I think my team is going to put it on there. And hey, fun videos. Your network is your net worth. Absolutely. Final thoughts. Whether you're 19 or 90, it's not about age, it's about action. Start today and your future self will thank you. Any thoughts from you?
Yeah, no, I believe that's absolutely true. I'm thanking myself, my 16-year-old self, from taking action. And even if this whole cryptocurrency thing didn't work out, I would have had a learning experience, and I would still try something new, for example, or
using that learning.
Yeah, and try to learn from successful people, use proven strategies that work. And Investment Mastery is a great community where really everyone is sharing what's working and really helping each other out, no matter the experience, no matter the age. And that's really great that everyone's helping each other.
I appreciate that. I like what you said just now. Very, very cool. You know, you're thanking your 16-year-old self. That's very, very cool. How many of you are inspired by this, by the way? How many of you have family members that maybe you would love to start learning this? And I think your dad did something very clever, really, in a way, because you know, he learnt it, but then maybe thought, I think Taylor would be good at this as well. Because now he can, let's say, the time that he allocated to it, you're now allocated to, and he can be onto a new pillar, a project, which maybe he allocates to you or maybe your sister or somebody else, and then he can move on to the next one, right? So it's leveraging his time, his knowledge, and his money. Absolutely fantastic. Janita, do you encourage your friends to invest? I don't know whether that question is for you. Do you encourage your friends to invest?
I do. I never told them that they should invest. My friends at school who were in my friend group, they obviously learned what I was doing from conversations, and they were interested, and they actually started doing some investing themselves. One of them was quite skeptical. They said, "Oh yeah, Bitcoin's going to go to zero, you know, when the internet gets hacked or something." That's not a great argument, and really we just want to buy things which have great fundamentals at a low price.
So yeah, mixed success there. yeah, I think, I mean, it's been really inspiring. Listen, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, Marcus.
Thank you for your time, your wisdom, and please do submit any questions that you have in the chat, because then we can answer them in future episodes. Or if there's anything that you think, oh, I'd really like to learn about this as an episode, or you have any thoughts or anything like that, please leave them in the chat and we will maybe do a show on it or definitely answer your questions. Okay, absolutely fantastic. Yes, it means that you can buy a house without the bank of mom and dad. Yes, you can, which is absolutely fantastic. Thank you, everybody, and we will see you next week, same time, at this amazing show where you get to eat. Now you can get to eat, finally, at the Lunchtime Investor. Take care, everyone.